Okay, in the last session, we are discussing about um, scripts, how to write a script. So, you understood like simple type, how to work with a simple type, and also how to work with a complex type. Today, I will show you like how to work with a list type. Version 9. Today, we'll see how to work with like list type. Yeah, this is like how to work with whenever you find something like complex variable now. So in order to like allocate the memory for a complex variable and in order to map it, you will write like this. But in real time, no, you will follow the same way. But here right side, what I did, I just hard coded the values. But in real time, what it will be happen like you will be like mapping with the input. For example, input BO will be something which is of same type. So I will map with one-to-one mapping. So that I will map this with name. Whatever the input I am receiving, I am mapping with the designation. I am mapping with department. That is like how it will be in real time. Okay, is it clear or shall I explain much more clearly?
Can you come again, Jagdish?
Yeah. For example, we are receiving like this in the real time, like how it will be like you are receiving some input as some EMP of type some employee detail. This is the input which you are receiving from other BPD or other service. Okay. So this is like you want to use this. Assume that this might be an output or something. So this EMP has something. This EMP has something. Uh, okay, let's take here as default as of now. This EMP which we are receiving from other service or BPD. This has some details like name, designation, department. Now, what we have to do, like, we have to map this with our variable. So, what we will do, we will initialize our variable, and we are also receiving that is of same type, tw dot local dot employee details dot name.
Yeah, got it, Jagdish.
This way, like how you will write it in real time. This way.
Yeah, got it.
Next, one more way I will show you then. tw dot or local dot emp dot department. Okay. You are just mapping whatever the input you are receiving. So whatever the input you are receiving, you are just mapping here. So see here, you whatever the input you are receiving, if you initialize this input instead of the output, if you initialize the input, what happens? If I initialize that EMP, what happens, right? Whatever I am receiving, everything will be reset to zero. Nothing will be there. So always remember one thing, whatever you are receiving as input, you never initialize that. Why? Because it is carrying some data. If you initialize it by using this new operator, whatever the data it holds, everything will be gone. So always what you have to initialize, always you have to initialize the destination content. You should not initialize the source content. Okay, here employee EMP is your source and this MSG is your destination. So you have to, okay, some data is coming from the source. So you have to put it in the destination. In such scenarios, you have to initialize the destination content and you have to like map the source content to destination content. Okay, so this is like one way. So you can also ask me say one thing like both are of same types, why to write like independently like this? You can also go with like this, tw dot local dot some message equal to tw dot local dot emp. First of all, let me execute this one and I will show you. Okay, first we have written like this. Let's execute this. Yeah, we are getting the values. And another short way is like when both are of same types, why to write this many lines? Like why can't we move directly? Okay, that means the direct BO to BO mapping. So this is also fine. Okay, if sometimes how it will be like this might be of different types. Like your BO, this BO is different, this BO is different. Then you have some string here. You have some string here. Might be you have some BO called some personal or something which holds some personal details or something name. Okay, name designation. Okay, so for example, whatever the data type you are receiving from the external system is personal. Okay, something like this. And now you have like two different data types. This data type is different and your data type is different. Okay. Now if you run, it is throwing me an error. Why it is throwing an error? Why? Because there is some mismatches there. Both the data types are like this is personal, this is employee details. If both are same, you can directly like do this BO to BO copying. So if both are different, you can't do that. So in such scenario, how you should go? You should go like this. So like you are receiving, okay, this is your source, you is employee, destination is your MSG. So if I run this, it's working. Okay. Okay, fine. Like suppose for example, you initialized the source as well. Source means whatever the input you are receiving, you initialize it this. And what happens? When you initialize something, whatever if you what you are receiving from the source as well, then what will happen? Like everything will be resetted. So whatever data is coming, everything will be gone. Nothing will be visible to you. So that means whatever data you are receiving, you are just nullifying the data or you are just resetting the data. So always you should not like initialize your source. Always you have to initialize your destination content. Okay, is it clear till now?
Yeah, Jagdish.
Yeah. Next. Sometimes what people will say like your architects or someone who is reviewing your code, they will give suggestion like, okay, see here like it is something like why every time you are writing tw.local.message. So instead of writing tw.local.message every time, here instead of writing why because this is repeating tw.local.employee, this is repeating. Instead of that, you can also write in different way, like where some a equal to, of course both will refer to the same one, where a equal to this one, the message I am writing, somewhere b equal to some personal. Okay. So now what you can write like this, you can write like this, a dot name equal to b dot name. Why you can't move direct BO to BO? Why? Because your A is of different structure, your B is of different structure. This is of like employee detail. This is of type like personal BO structure. That's why you have to do one-to-one mapping. A dot designation equal to B dot designation. A dot department equal to B dot department. Okay. Okay. So here what is A? It will substitute this one. What is B? It will substitute this one. Now I am running it again. So you are getting the data. Okay. So this is like how to work with like whenever something is like a complex type, no? How to work with the BO. Okay. Next we can go with like list type. Next we can go with like list type. Okay. As of now, like I'm just ignoring this one. Later, like I will explain how to work with that as well. Now, so see, this is my output. For example, this is of type list. This is of type list. List in the sense, what is the meaning of list? List is nothing but array. Okay, list is nothing but array. Array means not only like one employee, like previously I have taken an example of Sudeep. Not only like Sudeep, like you may have like multiple employees. So you have to display the multiple employees on the UI. So in such case, you have to take your variable type as list. You have to take your variable type as list. Okay, fine. So whenever your variable type as list, next how to work with the code. Okay. Okay. Now what was the variable? MSG employee details list. Okay. So first I'm just writing the syntax how it will be. Here variable is MSG and BO type is employee details. Later I will delete this and it is a type list. This is like how your variable looks like. This is like how your variable looks like IBM BPM variable. Okay, now how to initialize this one is like uh, suppose if there is something like variable name of type complex type of type list. If there is something like this, the syntax is tw dot local dot variable name tw dot local dot variable name equal to see new same syntax will follow new tw dot object dot. So earlier what we did, new tw dot object dot complex type, new tw dot object dot complex type. But this time how you should write like new tw dot object dot complex type. But this time how you should write like new tw dot object dot, it is list of complex type, not simple complex type. It is a list of complex type. So if you type here control space, search for small l, okay, you will find this list of, okay, list of, next dot complex type. Okay. So for this example I have written, if variable name is of type complex type and is of list, then tw dot local dot variable name equal to new tw dot object dot list of complex type. Next, in that list of complex type, tw dot local dot variable name of zeroth element. Now in that list you are initializing the zeroth element. In that list you are initializing the zeroth element. Zeroth element means like the first element or whatever you call the zero, you are initializing that. So this is completely is a list. First element it also be a list? No. First element remaining everything which will be of type complex type. So how you initialize that new tw dot object dot some complex type. Next.
Jagdish,
Yes.
in our case, it's a simple type, right? Like we have only data, predefined types, string and all, right?
Yeah, that also I will
Not
show you.
complex.
First of all, we after working with this complex type list, then we can see simple type list.
No, no, no. That is not I'm saying. Inside that list, whatever we have. Okay, got it. Go on.
Okay. Next. So I have initialized the zeroth element. Assume that zeroth element has some name. So how to write this? Tw dot local dot name equal to something. Okay. Next. Tw dot local dot some designation equal some lead. Okay. Now this got completed. That means assume that only these two values it have. Now name and designation. Okay, you have initialized. Next, what you can, this is zeroth element is completed. Your zeroth element is completed. Now you can go with like your first element. Okay, so just what I'm doing is like I'm just copying. Okay, this is like a basic level, but in real time, whenever you are working with like complex type, no, we will go with like some for loop. Okay, see here. So here I already initialized the zeroth element. Next, I need to initialize the number one element. Okay, in this way, like how many elements are there? Like you can like assign the values to like various types of variables, various types of like zeroth element, first element. So whenever you have created some service, for example, you have created some service. Now you want to create a unit testing. You want to do some unit testing. So you have to assign some value and you have to test it. In such case, you will assign like this. Now apply this to our variable. Apply this to our variable. So how it will be? tw dot local dot variable name equal to tw dot local dot variable name equal to this one. New tw dot object dot search with small n list of dot. So whenever BO, like we are taking the BO in capital letters, so like you have to search with capital C. Complex type, sorry. What is the type here? Our message is of type some employee details. So search with capital E. Yeah, got it. Fine. Next one, you have to initialize the, after initializing the list, you have to initialize the zeroth element. So tw dot local dot message of 0 equal to, so this one message of 0, this variable name of zeroth element equal to, so you are initializing the zeroth one. New tw dot object dot some employee details. Next, tw dot local dot message of 0 dot name. So here you can give the, what was the name? Vivek. Next, tw dot local dot message of 0 dot designation equal to some senior, sorry, what is that, lead. Okay, one more is there here, department. tw dot local dot some message of 0 dot department equal to some BPM. Okay, now this got completed. Now you initialize the 0th element. Now you can initialize the first element. Okay, I'm just copying this one, changing this to first. Okay, so I'm just commenting this one, or this is not required, I'm just deleting. Okay, see here. So what you did, so what is your destination? Like here you don't have any source and destination. You are just like want to like provide some values to this message variable called as message. Okay, you initialized that one. So it is a list. So individually you initialize the 0th element, first element, and you have assigned some values. Now come back to the coach. Okay, in the coach already you have this. So now this time what I will do, like there are like two ways. One way is you can drag and drop a table here. You can drag and drop a table here. Like I will show you in two ways. Like one is like if I can directly drag and drop my variable. Directly that table will get populated. Okay. Or else I can go with some table. Where is the table? Decimal date picker, some select. Yeah, here is my table. Drag and drop a table. Now in the table, okay, drag and drop this text fields. So one is for name and one is for designation and other is for department. Okay. Now change this one. Name, designation, department. Next you have to do the mapping. Okay. Complete the table, bind it with this complete list. So individually this is name. So you need to bind this with name only. In the current item you have like name. Okay. This is designation. Next one is department. Okay. So in this way, if you are like, if you want to like create a table, if you want to create a table, for example, assume that your variable has like some 10 to 15 columns are there, 10 to 15 like subcontents are there. This current item content 10 to 15, but you don't want like all the 15 columns. Something like that. You don't want like all the 15 columns to be visible. So you want only three columns to be visible. So in such case, like you can go with like uh, creating a table manually. Some employee details. I have renamed the table name as well. Okay. Now I'm just clicking on this run. I can see the details. Vivek, Vamsi. Okay, this is one way. The other way is select this complete one. Select complete employee detail. Delete it. Okay. Simply drag and drop your message. Simply drag and drop what the variable. You can see Vivek Vamsi. The complete details you can see here. Okay, you can make it as a read only as well. So this is like how to work when it is of type list.
And Jagdish,
Yes.
see, what if suppose in our case, employee data is a complex type inside whatever the variable, I mean, whatever the data we have, it's are of simple data type, right? Suppose employee details again contains a one more row. Then how to create a table that time? Like we don't have any text and all right. How to do that?
Okay. Okay. You are saying like employee details is having internally one more list.
Yes, not list actually. One more business object.
Okay. Okay. Whenever you are having like one more business object, like in your table, like you will display like only like you can uh, you have to do in such case you have to change the UI part. But here, if it is having like one more business object, for example, assume that this employee details have not employee. Yeah, we are using employee details only. No? Employee details have one more business object called personal of type some employee details or what are the business objects we have. Mm, okay, assume that it is also again type like personal or something like we already have personal. No? So assume that this is like another business object you have inside this. Now what we are doing is like pw dot local dot some message of 0 dot personal. Okay, I'm initializing this personal now. New tw dot object dot. Okay, it is not list, just a complex type. New tw dot object dot. This is also type employee details. Just tw dot local dot message of 0 dot personal dot some name. Okay. Here I am giving some name as Tony.
I think that is of type personal, not of employee details. Can you just see the variable part again?
Yeah, right.
Person.
Yeah, you're right. No, no, no. Personal is of type employee details only.
Personal C.
Yeah, we have like personal. Okay. Okay, I have given like small p. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, personal dot name equal to Tony. Next, tw dot local dot. So I can copy this till here. Personal dot designation equal to some some business analyst. Dot some department equal to. Okay. Here you have completed the zero element. Next, I need to complete this number one. I'm initializing the personal. Now the name is like Patrick. Okay, our code is ready. Our code is ready. Now let me like a drag and drop a variable and see like how this is working. Okay, it is showing in like first one is name Vivek, designation is late, department is BPM. So in that BO, again you have like one more BO called as personal. In that you have like name, designation, department. Oh, I didn't. I in designation only I have provided ID, no department.
You just overridden with empty value, I just saw that. I think.
Mm, in designation I have given BA. Oh, this is like how it is taking. This one is like my BO, name, designation, and department. Again in the personal BO, I have like again three columns. It is showing in the table.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. This about like okay, working with like some. Okay, let me remove this personal from this employee details. Let me remove this variable. Now it's okay. Now what is our concern is like, for example, in real time, like okay, if you want to do some like unit testing, you can use some script before like some service, and you can set up the data like this. You have to give some values to test whether it is working fine or not. Okay. Okay. Now but what is our requirement is now like, so I am receiving a input called as some personal. I am receiving an input called as personal of type some personal. Okay, I am receiving an input personal of type some personal. Okay. So actually like I should start with some capital P. Generally the some syntax, some naming convention we are following. So but I have taken it as small characters like in like smaller alphabets like of course like it will work, but we are following as we are following some naming constraint, like I'm just renaming this one. Okay, I changed this pivot type person to capital B. Okay, now this is also type list. Okay, this is also type list. Assume that both are list. Assume that both are list. So assume that both are list. So I'm like taking a script. mm, Set personal data for personal. No, I'm receiving the input as personal. This I'm setting the data for personal. So here I will write the script. I'm drag and dropping one more server script here. Okay, this is my actual script. This is my actual script. So what I want, like in the personal I will set up some data. Why? Because personal is my input. So I will move that data into my EMP. I will move that data into my variable called as MSG now in this script. So first I am setting up the personal. Okay. tw dot local dot personal equal to new tw dot object dot person. Okay. Okay. New tw dot object dot personal is of type list. Okay. Some list of person. Next. tw dot local dot personal of 0 equal to new tw dot object dot list of dot personal. Now I'm taking personal of 0.
Jagdish, here 0 is not list, right? It's a normal. The first instance of the list is
Ah,
normal complex table.
yes, you're right. 0 is not a list. Okay. So like here let me take some name Sunil. Personal of 0 dot designation some tech lead some department. Okay. So let me take like one more element. First element. Praveen. Project manager and department lead. Okay, I have like two events. One is like 0 and second one is like first one. This is like assume that this is the personal data which is receiving from the some other service or BPD. Okay. Now you want to like the map that input with your output. Okay, as I said, if you initialize the personal, what will happen? Like whatever you are receiving, everything will be nullified. So like you have to use this destination. Okay, so I'm just using the destination tw dot local dot message. I'm just initializing this one. Why? Because in order to store the data, like I have to like allocate the memory. New tw dot object dot list of dot some employee details. Next. Next, for I'm receiving what type of input? I'm receiving some personal of type personal and list. I don't know what will be the list length. So it may receive like I don't know like what will be the list length. So I'm taking a variable var list length. So I'm taking a variable. Okay. So this variable is not only as I taken it as a var. So here if I take it as something like some local variable, that variable is available throughout this service. But if I am taking here as var, this will be available only to this script. Okay, var list length. So I want to like calculate the list length of this personal, like how much, like how many elements I am getting. So how to calculate the list length? So pw dot local dot personal dot list length. Okay, this is an integer. So for what is our list length actually? What is our list length? So we have like how many elements? Like our list length is 2. Our list length
2.
is 2.
Jagdish,
Yes.
hello. One thing is like we are just defining where list length. Right? We don't need to define the data type, is it?
If you want, you can take it as a variable. Like I'm taking just it as a variable. No
No,
data type
what
is
I'm telling is,
whatever the data type. It might be
so,
integer or decimal. It will store here.
so no need to specifically mention like integer, string,
Not
like
required.
that, right?
Not required.
Okay.
If you want, also you can take it a private variable, some list length, and you can use it. Where list length I have taken. Now I'm okay. Now I'm writing some for loop. for some variable I am taking where I equal to 0. Okay, so I value 0. Next, I is less than, so I am taking I is less than list length, GTH. Okay, I is less than list length where I equal to 0. Okay, assume that list length is 2. I is less than 2. Okay, when I is less than 2, come inside. Inside, later I will write this I plus plus. Okay, it will check initial I equal to 0, I less than 2. So come inside. Inside that, what we are doing? Tw dot local dot. We are initializing this one. Message. Already we have initialized this complete list. So I am just initializing the message of I. Okay, message of I equal to new tw dot object dot employee details. So what it will populate like message of 0 equal to new tw dot object dot employee details. So message of 0 came. Now tw dot local dot some message of I dot some name. Okay, I want to like get the name. Okay, so that 0th element I have to map with the personal. So I'm directly mapping with the personal. Tw dot local dot personal of I dot name. Okay. Now tw dot local dot, why? Because both are like different data types, so I can't like move like entirely one-to-one mapping. I can't do. That's why explicitly I am doing like this variable to variable mapping. I can't do like BO to BO mapping here. Designation equal to tw dot local dot personal of I dot designation. Let me copy this. Next, some department equals department. Okay, ending with semicolon. Okay, so I have written some code here. I have written some code here. Uh, so initially, where I equal to 0, I less than 2, it will come here. So 0th element it will initialize whatever the values of the 0th message of 0 dot name, like whatever the value that contained in the personal 0 of name that will be moved to message of 0 dot name. Okay, after doing this, like it will increment the I, it will increment the I. Okay, and then I value is 1, again 1 is like I value is 1, 1 is less than 2, again like it will move. This is like oh, okay, so this is my for loop. Like okay, hope this will work. So like finally, like what is my destination content? The MSC. I want to show this MSC in my like output screen. Okay, so this is my script. Forget about this one. Why? Because I assume that that data is coming from some other external like a service or something. I'm just running this. See, I can see name Sunil, tech lead, department is BPM, Praveen, manager, department is IT. Okay. Here there is also a button called as debug. Whenever you are having like multiple scripts, no, if you click on debug, you can see on stepwise. See, this is like initially I'm setting the personal data. If I click on step, I can see like how the personal data I'm setting. Okay, Sunil tech lead BPM. Okay. Whenever you are working in real time, no, like you have to do with debug only initially. Like later you can, once it is working fine, you can go with like directly clicking on run. So if something is missing, something you mapped incorrectly or something is missing, you can easily identify in which step this went wrong. Okay, next I came to script. Script is also completed. Now I'm displaying the data. Now if I click on OK, it is came to like end event. This is like how this debug button will work. Okay, this is like how to like initialize a list, and how whenever you are working with the list, no, like or you will use such type of loops. Is it clear?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Jagdish.
Yeah,
So
fine.
Jagdish, one question here. Let's say we want to show a drop down that is not called as a list in this. What's that called?
See,
Drop down
drop down
value.
in the sense like here you are having in a list, like you are having like not a single element. For example, if you are having only names, different names, you can map it to some drop down field. But here you are having like name you have, designation you have, department you have. You can't show it in a single text field of type drop down. For drop down, like we have a field called as, we have a control called as select. This is the
Uh,
control which is used for drop down. Okay, whenever you want to like send some single data, like you want to like send some name, you can use the drop down.
okay.
Okay,
And
it
can
will
we
like,
show the drop down values from some database also
yeah,
for connecting?
we can like till now like we are not at like in future we are going with database also, like in database now, like we can fetch the details and we can show it in the drop down.
Okay.
In our like training content now, we have like something called as Ajax, or like there we can get it from the database and I can show you on the drop down, like by selecting one control in the drop down, like other control like automatically populated, like by selecting like Singapore, like the states of Singapore should be populated or something like that.
And in that table, I can see there is one radio button coming in the result.
Yeah, it's a complete like earlier, no, like in 7.5, like whenever you drag and drop some variable, you are getting like a radio button. Whenever you form a table structure, you won't get radio button. Radio button is something like whatever you can like among this list, if you want to like select anything, like you can click on OK. So based on this radio button selection, you can write some update script or write something.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have seen like some simple type, complex type. Okay, now let us go with like some. Okay, simple type is completed, complex type is completed, complex type list is completed. Next one, what I want to do is like, next one I want to tell you like string of type list, how it will be. Message of type string and is of type list. Okay. Now the message is of type string and is of list. tw dot local dot tw.local.message equal to new tw.object.list of string. tw.local.message of 0 equal to new tw.object.string. tw.local.message of 0 equal to, here you, it is a string, you don't have like anything here. It will be mm, okay. Let me comment this one. Okay, message of 0, message of 1, message of 2. So initialize the complete list of string. Okay, directly as it is a string, like directly you are assigning the values. Okay, that's good. Okay, now you are getting the substrate. Now I am just running. Okay, so here I can see Vamsi, Vivek, Jagdish. I can select the appropriate one. Okay. Or see here, like if I want to like search with V. See here, like this is the new feature which is not available in like a earlier version of like Lombardi. Suppose if I am having like many fields in the drop down, like no need to select like by scrolling, like you can simply like select by sorting here. By sorting itself, it will be automatically sorted. By typing it here, it will be automatically sorted. If you want to see all, you can see. Okay, got it. This is like how to work like when it is of like normal string of.
Jagdish,
Yes.
see, there's one more just scenario just I wanted to see. Adding items to that list. So instead of initializing every object in a list every time, so for using a for loop, I'm just wanting to add each object every time. How we do that one? Like,
Like suppose like you are having a table. Suppose like you are having a button like add row. On clicking on add row, like you want to like add a row to a particular table, right?
no, not like that.
Okay.
While setting up the data itself, same output we'll be getting, but here uh, first we'll set up the data like one instance, two instance. We are adding like every time hard coding like of inside the subscript we are
Yeah,
adding 0 1 instead
yeah.
of that.
You
What
can you assume that this is like some test data. You can write some for loop and you can do it now.
no, not in that way, Jarish. Previous example, if you remember, after setting up the data using a for loop, we just added like using a for loop. What you did, you change the value of the subscript, like message of type 0 1 like that, right? Instead of that, what I'm telling is, you can create an object. You can add that object to the list.
Okay.
Did you get my point, Jagdish?
Mm, okay.
Hello.
Like I haven't. Okay, I have two business objects here.
Okay.
So you want me to like make it as a like didn't get you like what you are trying to say.
In the same one, like you can create a personal data array only.
Okay. So let me create a personal data of array. Okay. Personal. You want me to like string or like some other content?
No, the complex type personal only.
Okay.
Okay. We'll set up the data to for two instances in the setup data. Okay.
Okay. I'm setting the data for personal. Okay. Assume that this is the input.
Yeah.
Okay. I will set up the data
Yeah.
for personal. Okay.
Yeah. You keep it there. After that, See, in a message, while assigning the data from personal to the message, what we did in last example was using a for loop. Suppose two instances are there in personal. For two objects, message one we are creating. Sorry, message of zero we are copying. Again, message of one we are copying using a for loop. What I'm telling is, inside for loop, you can create one message object and add that message object to the message list. Again, next time you can create message object and you can add it to the message list. Instead of creating suppose if you have 100 input things, you can't create. I mean, anyway, we are executing multiple times and for loop 100 times. There also it will execute, but in other way, instead of using a subscripts, I'm just telling like using add items to list will be there in WPS console. Right? Like that, do you have anything here?
Mm, I didn't try that. Can you like uh, okay, try it and send it to me if it works?
Yeah, sure, sure. Actually, I don't know syntax. I'm aware of the this one, like business scenario, but I'm not aware of the syntax. So I just wanted to know. Anyway, I'll try. This is JavaScript only, right? Whatever we write in implementation.
Yeah, it's like very simple one-to-one mapping only TW JavaScript.
No,
Like
no,
pure
not
JavaScript, you
here.
are going to use it in coaches.
Okay, fine, fine. I'll see. I'll try that option. I'll let you know tomorrow session.
Yeah,
What I mean.
try that. Like, or else you can drop me a mail so that like I will be coming from office at around like 11:30 or 12 o'clock night. So that we'll see.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll see.
Okay. Okay, fine. Like these are like various ways. In home, like you can also practice like whenever input is list, like whenever like both are list, we have seen. When input you have like normal type and output is list. Like when input is list, output you have only VO type, like normal complex type. You want to like only pass like zeroth element or first element. Like you can go with like various ways. You can also take in VO, you can take some another VO of type list. Then how can you like initialize that one? That all you can like you can practice at home. So we have completed this code session ninth part, simple, complex and complex list type. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about this session number 10, this EPV, environment variables and resource bundle creation, and like this one, like how to change from EPV from the code. This all you can see it in tomorrow's session. Okay, this is also important, like creation of EPV and environment variables. Okay, we can see this tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah, sure, Jagdish.
yeah, fine then. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.